Yes, but not only in the school. The industry Pforzheim was exact conservative like the German, like in Oberstein. They had some interesting companies, and of course they was very friendly to me. In Oberstein not so much, but Pforzheim was very friendly to me, and they understand there is something new, which was important. Professor Karl Schollmeier was he was the director of the school. He was the most mentor of me. He also was here in an exhibition and made some speeches, and he was a fantastic man. And Klaus Ulrich was in this time the guru of modern jewelry. He, together with Reino Dreiling, they made the idea of jewelry which was not polished. Was the nature material what they used, and there are so many pieces in the museum in Pforzheim of these two, and there was other like Friedrich Becker or Hermann Jünger, which I know also in this time. They discuss with me about stones, and but however. I was the first stone cutter, then after me comes Ackermann. Ackermann was also on the school 1 year later than me, and he also helped me a little bit to teach the goldsmiths, because they all like to make some stones, and you know, like it is. But however, I mean, then I was one of the most important goldsmiths today, Robert Smith, was my friend. We was from the first day in the school together. He is the godfather of my first son, Jörg. And it was a fantastic world. The Danish people was there. And so in the holidays I go to Denmark, and I go in by George Jensen, can you believe it? And they're looking, oh, that is interesting. Eh? You know, the way it starts. And I must say, so then I was 1 year more in Pforzheim after my examination, and then I go back to Stipshausen in the house of my wife. I was married before I make my examinations. Hanne right on the machine. He was better than I. Yeah. However, we come to Stipshausen in 76, and in the house, and I built my workroom in the cellar. And my father, my father, Hannes' father, he helped me. He was building houses and something like this, and he helped me. But the big thing was, he had an accident and was in a wheelchair. So we had 1 year only to go in hospital, and it was, for the beginning, it was a little bit, okay, but we need to do it. So, but we like to be here because this is his home. And then in 1970, we starting to build this project with a good architect, a friend of me. He knows my stone, and I say it must a little bit look like my stone, but however, 73 we was finished, and we opened this atelier. Not so big than now, because Tom later on built a little bit more on it. So we start, okay, big risk, but big fun. Yeah. I must say, beginning of the 80s, I was invited in the United States. And I think this was the best point in my life, because the American are more open for new things. That was interesting. Here, I don't know, and maybe it's a risk to go in this direction. And in America, I have so many people which start to copy me first. But I open a field of ideas, of creativity. And of course, on the beginning, they was inspired. They told me, is this good what I'm doing? And I say, okay, that's wonderful. But on the way now, there are a lot of people which work different than all the others. You need to realize this cutting is 500 years old. It is born in the Renaissance. And there was a Belgish people which had this horizontal wheel, and he's starting with the facet stones. And this 75 facets or whatever they spinning the light around is of this time. But it never changed in general. It changed a little bit in the proportion because they find out that the light, the total reflection could be, it must have a system. And so, but it is the same system 500 years old. So, in all the world. Agates like all the time, the same than my grandfather. He realized that I make something different, and his idea was only, oh, maybe you can make a life with this. You know, he was very nice. He liked it, but he said, oh. If it works, I had a family in this time. Huh? Yes, he accepted all the time. I show him in the meantime also what I'm doing. Huh? He accepted, and he asked me also if the first competition in Niederoberstein, the Deutscher Schmuck- und Edelsteinpreis, he asked me, can you help me? I have an idea, Miss Agate, can you help me to make it? And he made the prize. So he go with me, which is very wonderful. Patch was one of my friends, which accept what I'm doing, and Jürgen Henn, and finish. I come to the States and I could feel there is an acceptance of what I'm doing. They understand immediately there is something new, there is something fresh, and it starts. It was the first time in Tucson, I don't know, it was in the beginning of the 80s, and I get invited for galleries, and I meet Michael Good and all these people. And we was like brother, and it was fantastic. And I need to say that I must say thank you to the United States, because they helped me to build up my business and my ideas. First my ideas and then my business. Article was written, one journalist speak about I'm the Picasso of the stones. And I think, okay, why not? You know, it was a good time, and I meet with Jürgen Henn. I meet Michael Scott, and that starting. He was crazy with my things. He was the first to understand that I make sculptures. And my first sculpture was in '48. In 84, sorry. And it was because I go every year to Brazil with my friend from Barcelona. 1974, we was invited of the Brazilian government to see the first fair, FENAP, and we get the fly for nothing, and the hotel was paid, And that was the only possibility to go to Brazil for me in this time. And I meet my friend in Barcelona, and we make the trip together, and we was friends for all our life. And we starting to think, I need to say a little bit more. All the stones which comes from Brazil to Ida Oberstein was prepared for the industry. The amethyst was from 5 gram to 10 gram, and like they needed for this area. And let's say the agate is the only thing which comes in the bowl, and was different. And okay, it starts in this way, and I think to go to Brazil was for me a very special point, because we don't know what to do in Brazil. Where we start in the south and we go to the north, and we go everywhere and looking what is here, what is there. And José, my friend, he speaks Spanish and Catalan, which is nearby on Portuguese. Immediately he speaks Ascan very normally, and he was a very good businessman, which I not was. And then we find stones that say to me a lot, but nobody needs this stone, because the industry doesn't take it. There are crystals inside in a crystal. That is not okay.